train if it want to.
Cause you from third.
No,
third or fifth. Fifth. You right.
In that nickel.
All right.
2 turns.
Welcome to the Gold Bots Podcast. My name is Henry, aka Hendog, and we've been turning this wheel and changing out people, but we got fam bam, Cuzzo, who likes to sing, but it's cool.
I'm not gonna do it too much.
You want to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hello. My name is Estee Wumahia. Like Estee Lauder.
There you go. Because I know if I just probably screw that up, and that's how it is. But yeah, welcome to the Gold Box Podcast.
No Lauder.
Welcome to the episode. This is a special day too. Special person on. Everybody else is special too, but this is episode 10.
Family, that's blood. Okay, that's the last time. I promise. That's the last time. I promise.
No, you cool. You cool.
Okay.
I accept all my family. Sometimes.
You said what?
I accept all my family sometimes.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. You're on that side. You're good. Other people, yeah. But yeah. So no corrections from last week. Nothing because we didn't have anything last week. Mm-hmm. But yeah, a lot on the schedule today, and the first one was I might as well just get the gloom and doom out the way. So
gloom and doom.
Yeah, gloom and doom. So last week we had stuff in Virginia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I hate that's the first thing that we got to start with.
I mean, we don't have to start. Honestly, I thought you was gonna say hurricane. When you said gloom and doom. But
but hurricanes are cool. Like I can deal with a hurricane. Like New Yorkers can't, but we can. I'm like, okay, I can sit at home as long as not the flood.
They don't get hurricanes. They don't get anything.
Remember Sandy? They was tripping out.
Oh yeah.
They wasn't.
Yeah.
They don't got the infrastructure for that.
It wasn't as important for us, so it was kind of like, wait, what? Sand who?
Oh dang! You talk about us with snow, y'all can't handle no hurricanes. Cool.
Okay. But yes, what happened in
but Charlottesville, white nationalists, neo-Nazis. A lot of people got mad about a statue of Robert E. Lee, I think, was getting taken down. So they decided that they wanted to have a rally. And yeah. First off, how do you feel about that and just how everything went down? There was one person killed, a lot of people injured. Somebody ran through it with a charger. Just all kinds of things. But I think it's just one of those stories we need to talk about this week. I think
it was just it's crazy how now I saw something. I think I might have posted something too. The minute of might to my face. No.
This is gonna be a fun episode. I feel.
Yes. No, but it's crazy how I saw something that was saying they don't even worry about wearing hoods now. There's no shame in it or even trying to be incognito, if you will, like trying to hide their identity. They're proud to be like, no, I'm out here with my tiki stick about to raise some hell. And it's like
just
bruh.
I like.
And don't care. In the age of social media, anybody can snap your picture, like many people did.
Yeah.
Snap a picture, find a person on Facebook, like, here, oh boy, he gonna be here at this time. He work here, and they don't even care. But that's how strong that passion is to hate somebody.
I think this started like a year and a half ago.
Okay.
But with Trump and then the Make America Great Again situation.
Oh yeah.
And usually we don't talk about politics. I don't want to give nobody no juice. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to give nobody the juice.
I understand.
But yeah. When you talk about Make America Great Again, and then next thing you know, you're out here talking about we want to build a wall and we want to do this and we want to do that, we want to do the other. It kind of separates the nation and then allows people that aren't necessarily for multiculturalism, culturalism. Sorry, I'm trying to work on my words.
I understand.
I slur my words.
We have some techniques in theater: red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow. That's a real one.
Oh yeah, I remember I took speech and debate. I know my teacher.
Oh, nice. Come on, debate. Come on, great debater. Shout out Wiley College.
Anyways,
Sorry.
but the thing is, like, it's been like that. Now it's just to a point where people are just out here, like you're saying, no mask, no nothing, just I'm out here I'm here for the nation, and we're the superior race, and we shouldn't get rid of our history, like. But that history is connected to a lot of people, so it's like, it don't, like, you're forgetting the other side of things. Like, people they have amnesia whenever they talk about history.
Yeah,
I think, and it's weird because it's
feel
like
they know. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you got it.
No,
you got it, cuzzo.
Go ahead.
You got it, cuzzo. I was done. But what were you saying?
No, I was just like, I feel like they know. And it's like I don't think they they know, they remember, but they see it differently. So in their mind, it's not like all these people went through all this stuff. It's like these black people been bucking us for years. You know what I mean? That is the way they see. You know what I mean? And they know it's been going on. They know slavery happened. They know all of that happened, but they see it differently in their mind. Thank you. In their minds, they still feel like, black people they've always been trying to take our spot since they came here, and it's like ain't nobody asked to come here.
But the thing is, it's almost like if you show somebody in a fight and then you saw the guy that won, and then it was a great valiant victory against whoever it was, and I punched him in the face. But then there's always the other side of the guy that got punched in the face. Like, he didn't feel too hot about you punching him in the face. And the same with, like, slavery and, like, the Civil War. Like, they always try to throw Sam Houston in there and, like, Texas, and it's like, we were never really in there because it was a republic at the time. If I stand corrected, am I right? I think I'm on the right track with that.
Disclosure: Estee is not very political. Estee does not know those facts, and I cannot act like I do.
I know this is bad coming from like a person that's supposed to be like the education major, but I think that because Texas was a republic at the time of there was slavery, but it was a republic at the time of the Civil War. They never took a side. So that's where
I get what
you don't necessarily. That's why Sam Houston wouldn't like. Was he like my greatest hero? Kind of, not necessarily, but at the same time, I wouldn't just like say, "Hey, get rid of the statue." But Robert E. Lee
is something totally different.
He seceded from the U.S. at the time, so like to leave the U.S. and then just be like, we want slavery. We want to. We're gonna make our own country, and you did make your own. So
we can do this horrible thing,
Yeah,
it's great. Am I really?
No, just so you can see your face.
Okay.
That's it. We out here, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, but I think it's just. It's almost like it's a reset button with this every decade or so. With something happening like this, because I remember there was like in Santa Fe there was like the Ku Klux Klan, the Grand Wizard lived there, and they would always wear like capes and hoods and everything. And you know about Santa Fe, and
not everybody's hear stories about Santa Fe, about stuff like that happening.
Yeah, it's like I've been out in Santa Fe. Not everybody's bad in Santa Fe, but then like
true, I have some friends in Santa Fe.
Yeah, so it's just not like everything's not bad about them, but at the same time you're always hearing all these things and. People that don't necessarily like you, and then that's why it was always like a lot of animosity when they came to playing Santa Fe and football and this that and the other.
League City playing Santa Fe?
Are they?
No, I'm saying who? Oh, just in general playing Santa Fe.
Just in general, because it's always like Lamarcus is like.
Lamar.
Like Lamarck.
Yeah, Lamarck.
Yeah.
We battle Lamarck, battle the bands. They totally beat us. So bad.
It's like 5 of them now. So it's just
like used to be off the chain.
But just like gave Tiki Torches a bad name. Then you try to change history around, and like they did with textbooks back in a few months ago. But they were saying that they were here on their own free will and this that, and the other. And then Ben Carson was saying some stupid stuff. But it's just that plus the president not backing up a country, that And then on top of that, they didn't necessarily vote for you. You didn't get the majority.
Yeah.
But you're trying to, be in good standings with the people that got you in, almost. So, like, it took 2 days to say something about it and all that kind of stuff, and just, and then you did say something about it, and then you
blame
reneged.
both sides, and you're like,
how can you renege on your statement? Like you was already off, like he was already off the beaten path already.
yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just like, what? Where are we? I was listening to him like, are you serious? And who's advising this man to let him think this is, I mean.
He don't got spicy no more.
He don't got spicy no more. That's funny.
Spicy. He's Sean Spicer. He was Spice Man. He was spicy. I'll give you the
It's a
spicy
little
taste.
too spicy, okay? No, but
He got fired. Just
all of them either left or got fired. I saw an article, I didn't read it, but after the whole Charlottesville thing and he made the speech, how it was so many people that resigned from working, Oh, did it go off? But, I don't know. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Yay!
just to, and then you can't come out here and then renege again. I know it says like I'm saying the N word, but it's a real word. But you can't renege on what you just said.
Renege. No, but I know I'm
Renege.
totally kidding.
But you can't renege on what you said before it.
Yeah.
And then do it again at the rally, which is why are you having a rally? Why? Why are you having a rally? You're already the president. You got that by a fluke because you got the Electoral College, which they need to change. And like I know,
he's like, and let's get to the next one. They need to change it.
George Bush won the same way. He won the same way because he
Yes.
got the electoral, even though he didn't have the majority. And I know, people was tripping about that, and it's the same thing. And then the 2 years after that, the 2 terms after that, it was just like he won the popular vote, and he won the electoral.
Yeah.
Very old, you know what I'm saying? Out in Cuba, chilling,
Living life, okay?
Jet skis, just
Like,
shirt out,
bruh, and still being protected, just living life.
Yeah.
People watching, making sure he good.
I know some of them dudes probably that around Trump. They probably just want to slide sideways. Bullet.
Like low key.
Oh no, I
Low key.
can't
What
believe
would
that
happen
happened.
if I just moved out of the way?
Do I really want to protect him today? I don't know.
mean,
I ain't gonna judge nobody, but that's a job, But they
I'm
going
sure
through rough things.
it's pressure. I don't even know what to say. It's just crazy that in 2017 this is still happening and on such a large scale.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's always happened. And it's so funny. I see so many memes and it's like it'll say white people : I did not know America had gotten this way.
What?
And then it's a picture of a black person.
That's like I'm just sitting here chilling.
Like, bro, what?
That's why I kind of now I'm just like if we came out with ARs in Houston and 3rd or the 5th Ward and all that kind of stuff, they would shoot people down.
Right.
And not even just being funny about it. It's just there's certain things you can't do as a black or African American or just
minority
or just a minority.
I'll say a brown to dark skinned minority.
Yeah, you can't come out talking about blood and soil. It's not gonna happen.
That's what I'll say.
It's not gonna happen. It's just like blood and soil, blood and soil.
Like you
Severe the spirit race and all these chants and everything.
Yeah, and they were even saying white lives matter, and I'm thinking to myself, I saw
We
something
know
else
that.
was it was like, okay, so where are all the all lives matter people now?
Yeah.
They mad when people say Black Lives Matter. Okay, be mad that they saying white lives matter. Oh, you're not mad about that because they're saying that your life matters. And the only reason you was mad about Black Lives Matter is
they didn't say it was us. We didn't get our chance in the sun. Like, well, I sound like Hank Hill there a little bit, but that'd be mean.
You said
Hank
what?
Hill's cool. I said I sound like Hank Hill.
Oh, Hank Hill.
Bobby. But I think it's just we've so used to it as as minorities, it's just like, oh yeah, they did it again, and people are just like, oh well, we can't believe this is happening. I can't believe in America this. Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
I mean,
it's all you can say. It's just like, yeah.
And they're rooting for this man. There was actually Robert E. Lee.
Yeah.
And there's actually an article, and they talk about how Robert E. Lee himself didn't want to. Did you see that? Like, he didn't want to keep up monuments I think it was about the Gettysburg Monument. They were trying to create it during that time, and he didn't want it to go up. So there's this quote about him like
saying,
yeah, he's basically, I have it here if you want me to read that. But no. But he's basically saying, like, you know, we should close the door. He's basically saying, okay, he said, I think it wiser, moreover, not to keep open the sores of war, but to follow the example of those nations who endeavor to obliterate the marks of civil strife and to commit to oblivion the feelings it engendered.
Okay, that makes sense, because like that's almost like Germany.
You know,
because
so
Germany had the holiday. They want you to go to the Holocaust Museum. Because I remember going to the Holocaust Museum in D.C. That was rough. I think I almost cried. Then on top of that, they had like the day we went, because it was like for Jamboree for Boy Scouts. Which,
oh, look at you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm an Eagle Scout out here.
Tying knots and stuff, making fires.
You know what I'm saying. If the Hunger Games pop off, I'm good. If they pop
Boys
off,
out
I'm
there with
good
sticks
to
talking
go.
about.
I don't even need no sticks. I'm just going.
Boys out there talking about.
I'm gonna get what's called from Proud Family. Just use him as like my fire starter. Dad.
Oh my God! I used to love the Proud Family. A family. Proud Family.
Okay.
Girl, she ain't up in here. But no.
But that's the thing about it. It's I don't know.
It's like
like if you don't face it, then you can't get better as a country.
Yes. And I mean, I feel like some people use that argument too to be like, okay, well, that's why we should leave him up. But I think it should more so I
think I'm good with the idea of the museum, donating to the museum. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because then, like, it's like the Holocaust Museum. When you hear about certain like admirals and certain people,
I agree.
Like whether you're at the one in D.C. or actually in Germany, or you're at like the one in Houston, they actually mention the people that did those crimes. Yeah,
instead of like it, because it being on its own is something like even he was talking about. That's like it's like you're revering this person who did these really horrible things versus, like you said, if it's in a museum, it's in a collection, and it comes with this preface of this person did these horrible things, not like, hey, we have a statue here. A lot of people not walking by looking at that statue or like, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, this is cool. This is something that obviously in this area people not praise this person, but people are like, yeah.
Because it's like there's Robert E. Lee high schools and Robert E. Lee this. And then I remember people was tripping out with the Confederate flag. And I'm like, yo, you want a losing team's flag up? Like, that's not the America I know. Like, it doesn't work out. It's just like, yeah, we want it for historical reasons. Okay. But then a lot of people, a majority of people that went through that, families went through that and all the stories and everything, that's not getting told because, you're wanting to create your own little lane with it. Yeah, it's their perspective. Yeah. And they switch it to make it fuel their own, not agenda, but yeah, agenda. But you do it because you believe you want to be 100% right all the time. That's what I think it is. When you do that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then, like, you can't, like, I remember Roy Wood Jr., shout out to him. Who? Roy Wood Jr. On The Daily Show, comedian. He was like you overplayed your hand because, like, you already have it going swell for you as, other than, like, the recession a few years back and a lot of things, you still have a lot going for you. And then you come out and want to be racist and just want to be hateful because you believe that your side of history should be shown. Is it, it's a disservice to the whole country. But yeah. But speaking of protests, I'm like, oh no, I did my hand because I'm like, when people, yeah, got it. Come on.
No, go.
No, so we gonna nip that.
Ain't gay.
We're gonna nip that in the bud. But speaking of other protests, and this one is on the other side of things. This is the 2.0 version of it.
Come on, 2.0.
The 2.0 because there was a 1.0 last year and people was mad about it and
still mad, obviously.
But now, but I think it's kind of it's almost like the beach. They're gradually making their way back into the shore a little bit. It's probably high tide right about now, but
yeah, it's metaphor.
The NFL and the stuff that's going on with protests during the national anthem. So, they decided that they wanted to take a knee. I think it was Marshawn Lynch. He came back to. He sat down during the pledge. The Cleveland Browns had like 11 people do it.
And it's like,
and then they also had a white dude,
a white man do it,
but I can't remember his name right now. But I'm either if it's on the YouTube channel, I'll make sure to put it, or if you want to look it up, because I don't want to, stop the flow of things.
Okay,
but,
I'm sorry, keep going.
But
no, but I saw him with his picture and his little black wife.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say little, but.
That's oh my goodness. Oh, that little thing.
I feel like I feel like I say little about everything. Like, oh, he's so cute, it's so little. They with their little self,
Look at them.
It's an endearing word. But no, yeah.
But
he took a knee. Ain't that crazy?
I know Jerry Jones. He said that he's not gonna have no say against people taking a stand, which is crazy because it's Jerry Jones. Even though I'm a Cowboys fan, but it's cool. I think he's trying to be on the right side of things this time.
Yeah.
And same with Cleveland Browns. They had like 11 people take a knee.
That's a lot.
And then they had, some people that didn't necessarily take a knee, but they had, hands on the shoulders of the people that were actually protesting.
To show
their solidarity.
Mm-hmm.
But how you feel about it? How do you feel about this whole situation? Because I know you don't watch the NFL like that, probably.
I don't.
But how do you feel about this protest happening again this year? Even though the person that started it
the
don't
catalyst
have no job right now
at all,
but it don't make no sense. No, hold up, I'm gonna go on a rant right now.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Here you go. Here we go.
No, I'm gonna have to go for this one because how now, Brown Cow? How do you get Jay Cutler in front of Colin Kaepernick? It doesn't make sense. And anybody that's seen Jay Cutler, he made the Bears trash for so long. And Colin Kaepernick played last year, and even though he didn't start all the games, he didn't win that many games that he was in. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, he took a team to the Super Bowl. He was like sixth. I keep on slurring a little bit, but we good.
Okay. Yeah, we good.
In rushing, and he was like, his QBR was good, but then you saying that he's not getting blackballed? Like, it don't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Because he's clearly getting blackballed. I hate that word. White ball. No, I'm just kidding. Yellow ball.
He's getting the rug picked up from under. And that's just my opinion. But it's, it's almost like he was a little bit of a martyr for this situation. Mm-hmm. Because he wanted to, he did good things over the offseason and everything. And it's just like, when you're just out here and you can have a protest in Virginia, which most people say, "Oh my goodness, the North! Oh my goodness, we're not racist at all. We're actually humble and nice people."
Virginia, ain't.
No, but most people think that, and it's just like every time you think, "Oh, South bad, North good," it's just even though they're right on the cusp of a lot of
I was just about to say, Virginia. I mean, they not too long. They still a little conscious.
It's same with I don't get why they have a West Virginia and a Virginia, but that's for another story. But people are like, Trump is fighting and changing his comments about that, protest, but then people always have something to say about the protests of Colin Kaepernick and then what people are doing now. And it's weird. But the funny thing is about this is every time somebody wants to shut down the protests, they always say, "You're disrespecting our troops. Why are you disrespecting our troops?" When I talk to airmen and Marines and people that used to be in the military, they say, well, it's kind of a little bit disrespectful. But at this,
they say that.
Yeah, some of them say that, because you know it's the pledge, and you're saying it's your allegiance to the pledge, and you fight for that,
and they're fighting.
But at the same time, majority of them that I know, like I talk to an airman whenever I go play indoor soccer, and you know what I'm saying, I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no Pele.
I gave you a little. See, you ain't. That was yes.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't no Pele. I ain't no Neymar.
Cristiano Ronaldo. Give me a call.
I ain't been in like
Give me
Beckham,
a call.
But I talked to him. He was like, "Well, you have your rights to take. Don't think just because somebody's in the military, they fight for everybody's rights. They fight for the rights of somebody that wants to talk about making America great again." And they have, talk about, being able to talk about the injustice and it's a silent protest at that too. It's not like people throwing Molotov cocktails or causing ruckus or anything like that. It's just that's their way of saying, till the injustices that we see in America, get fixed in some kind of way. This is how we're taking a stand. Yeah, we're taking a knee.
Yeah.
So. My bad for going
to let you know we care about this movement. No, you're good.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, y'all.
So how do you feel about it, in this day and age? One, how do you feel about it? Mm-hmm. And two, do you think he's going to have a job before
Kaepernick?
Yeah.
Okay.
How
do I feel about it? First, how do I feel? I feel like this is something not a process per se, but it's a.
I'm sorry.
This is something that has you're fine. This is something that has literally happened, like throughout history. There's always that one person or maybe a group of people that are the catalyst for this movement that happened, and they always end up, like you said, they end up a lot of times becoming martyrs, and they stand up and they don't. It's sometimes it's in a big way.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you good. Keep on.
I mean, sometimes it's in a big way. Sometimes, or I should not say in a big way, because it was big what he did. But sometimes it's in a loud, like boisterous way, like you said.
Yeah.
Like, but sometimes it's silent.
Yeah.
And it's literally, and that's, I think sometimes it's so powerful when it's like you really expected me to get loud and get angry about this, but I'm really going to just show you that I'm not okay with it, and I'm going to do it in a way to where you see it, but I'm not going to give you what you want, which is all this which is all this like negative energy, you know what I mean? Cuz it's easy for the other side to come towards something when it's out of a place of anger, like this is a bad situation, they expect it, and it's easier for them to justify what they're doing.
When they're just some rebel rousers,
you know what I mean?
Like now, almost like with Ferguson.
Yeah,
because like
exactly.
If they would have never went to go like burn down
and
like,
riot and
now
I understand. I'm not saying I don't understand it, because it gets to a point where people boil up.
Yeah,
we are all
but
flesh.
The same thing is almost like with Black Lives Matter. It's nothing wrong with it, but there's so many people and there's so many different subsections of it that one person can mess it up for everybody, because there's not really no real they're cohesive, but it's not cohesive in a way where it's like the Black Panthers back in the day. Because the Black Panthers now are just like
they back in the day though, they was written, everybody was committed and everybody had
it was a systematic joining of people in a way that worked out for the better until a lot of stuff, Huey P. Newton got shot, and a lot of other people, with drugs and all that kind of stuff. And then, like, the Crips and Bloods tried to do that kind of stuff. And then it kind of, with anything, when stuff gets, longer down the road, it's kind of, it changes in form. Almost like sororities and fraternities. Nope, no shade or nothing. I don't need nobody coming after me. But I don't need, like, but it's the same thing. Like, it's
I was about to get I have nothing to say.
Don't get me fired up.
I have nothing to say.
I thought we was fam.
I have nothing. No, I have nothing to say. No, not for me. I was talking to them, like, but I really don't have anything to say.
But it's crazy out here. It's crazy.
I mean, yeah. And so, you know, what I think is that it always takes that one person, and it's so crazy how a year later, after he has not gotten a job, and nobody says anything on his behalf. Not really. You know what I mean?
They've been saying it, like
Not,
Richard Sherman and a whole lot of other players have said something about it.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
they're starting, and
let me
there's a lot of analysts and
forgive me.
everything. No, you
I was
good.
about to say,
You
now
good.
I know, like, you know, Sports Center and all the I was about to say news
Yeah.
anchors, but all of, you know, the
sports news.
commentators.
Yeah.
I know they say things. What's the little somebody gonna get on me? The little black man with the afro, the little bitty afro. He was speaking at real.
Oh, you talking about Stephen A. Smith?
Yes. Wait.
Yeah,
I think so.
I
Yeah.
met him before. He's cool people.
Really?
He don't like no Cowboys, but that's for a different story too.
You're like, whatever.
Yeah, like,
but you know,
he
he's
ain't
one
a
of the
big fan.
people. He'll speak his, and a lot of those commentators. Again, I'm not extremely well versed in athletics.
Yeah.
But you know, they've spoke on it, but it hasn't. I guess they have. But it's crazy how a year later, after he does not have a job, he's been, you know, he's been just completely blacklisted, if you will, from the NFL, and people are doing it in droves.
Yeah.
Kind of, it's not like
I think
just,
now it's got more momentum behind it.
yeah, for sure. But it took him doing it, and it took him, like you said, being willing to be a martyr, not knowing what would have happened.
Yeah.
Willing to be a martyr.
Martyr.
And here we do a dance break. It's okay. It's okay, it's back on, and you can hear me through it all. These people are gonna be like, look, next time. No, I'm talking about the people who watch it. They gonna be like, next time, tell that chick, this is not karaoke.
It ain't that many people, so it's like
It's
it's like maybe 30 people that actually like listen to the thing, and it's building up, but you know, I still need to put the word out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, listen to Go Box. She let me do a theme song. Open this hoe up and be like, open this hoe up with a theme song. Talking about hen dog, hey, hen dog, and Go Box, hen dog, hey. Okay, I'm too turned up. Okay. Back to Kaepernick.
But what was it?
Yeah, you know,
said
and he
martyr.
went to Ghana. He's like,
He's done.
talking
a
about
lot.
when hood chicks talk about a good dude. Talking about, and he went to college, and he went to Ghana.
He got that shakies.
Talking about he got money.
He out here.
Ooh, talking about fries with chili and cheese. Oh, girl,
He at Coney
where my
Island.
ring at? But no. But you know, I think it's great that people are now coming out and they're like, hey, you can't fire all of us.
Yeah, true.
You can't
And then-
fire all of
and then
us.
It's another thing is when you get a white person,
Oh baby,
ain't nothing against
oh
it.
baby,
but you get the right white person, to
baby,
be like,
the right person.
and there's nothing wrong with that. It's like, but once you get one person from another race in conversation,
For the Caucasian race in particular, though, and that's
can't
what
just
it
be anybody
takes.
either.
It can't. It takes somebody who has the clout, who has the platform, who has the following, too, of other white people to be like, nah, I don't think this is okay either. And I hear so many people talking, and there's so many articles about, you know, how if the white people who are silent, you know, they'll tell the black person next to them like that, next to them, like, you know, that's
not
so
for
bad
that.
what's going on, I'm not for that. But if those same people were not silent in public,
yeah, it
in
takes
the
action.
public eye, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like for them, it don't even take that much. Ain't nobody asking you to get out in the streets and march. I mean, that would be great, but it's just having a voice.
Yeah, for
having a
sure.
voice. Now, disclosure, I'm not saying I'm the most, I don't want to come out here like I'm straight,
But
you know,
I think, no, you
on
good,
it,
you
but
good,
I'm,
you good, fam. You good.
Yeah.
You good. You don't have to explain yourself.
okay, thank you.
But I'm saying, but this is what I'm saying. Everybody does it in their own way, whether it's through
True,
stuff like this,
true.
like speaking your piece on here.
Yeah.
Like, it's forever. You know what I'm saying? Unless the internet crash or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, that's so kind of scary. Just a little bit. Like forever, like in 2027, you're going to see me on this freaking screen and be like, what?
This intersection sponsored by Mean Girls. Yesterday, we wore pink.
Oh, yes. I was literally about to say that. On Wednesdays, we wear pink.
You can't sit with us.
You can't. This table.
I'm sorry.
You see all this ish on here? You cannot.
You cannot have the gold mic.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Or the red one, because it's red for blood, which means passion, which means that I love everything.
Oh my.
They always do the little, like, wet.
Oh, dang.
But yeah.
Yeah, but I think he'll find a job for sure, and I think that's
Yeah.
a step in the right direction because. But the thing was,
But it's like, who he gonna play for now? It's like, y'all ain't want me.
Hey.
Back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. You know what I mean?
I feel how you
Ooh.
brought Mike Jones into this.
Because
but
that's
it's
how I
cool.
really felt in that moment. I probably shouldn't bring him up though, low key.
Mike Jones.
Because it's some stuff. You know.
Ooh, Mike Jones.
I don't know if you want to talk about that now.
But I think for the record, I think somebody like the Cowboys holler at me. or somebody that really needs him.
We're gonna
as
edit
a
that
backup.
part.
I don't care.
No, I'm in Chile, Kelly.
Screw it. But I think somebody needs him, and if they can get him off their high horse and go pick him up, they'll be all right.
You think who you said Jerry Jones?
Jerry Jones, you know what I'm saying? He
think
be
so?
making bad calls sometimes,
Mm.
and I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
You think he
made-
might do that though?
Look, he had people. He had Danny Whitehead that stole underwear from I think like a JCPenney or a department store.
Wait, what?
He got Ezekiel Elliott that's on charges right now, which I think they should get dropped, but he's out 6 games. And
Jerry-
he had Mike Irving. He's clean now, but he was on cocaine like a mug for a minute. So you know he's not against like getting just any kind of person, but the salary
Yeah.
cap might play a role in that.
You know, Jerry Jones himself is a savage. I had to make sure it's the same one I'm talking about. That's why that man is a hashtag hashtag Jerry Jones Savage 2017. What? I heard some stuff about him too.
But yeah,
But no,
I
I get what you're
I
saying.
got dirt on dog. You just
But for him to even, what did you say that he said?
What?
Or what did Jerry
he
Jones?
said that he's not against anybody taking a knee during the anthem.
For him to even say
And just
that,
like the Browns did that too. So the Browns and the Cowboys said they have really no problems with that.
and that, I mean, I get chills. Why? I don't know. But I just got chills all over my body. Because
I
that
don't
to
know.
me,
Just-
that to me, even though it's so small, and I'm not just being like, yes, Jerry. I'm not like giving him all the juice. But I'm giving him like a 10C drop of it, of some old juice from the back. And being
Man, no,
like,
but
just
when
him
you got-
saying that.
When you got
is-
bread, you kind of got the white guy juice. You got the owner juice.
You do, but here's my, and for him to say, I guess he feels like, I don't know what he feels like.
I don't know,
I
but
can't
it's
speak
a
for
good
him.
thing.
But yeah,
But-
no, it's a good thing. I said all that to say.
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of other rights, the last one before our major topic, I think, because we on the road right now, is Amy Schumer. We try to cut it short, but
I rolled my eyes. I don't know why I rolled. That was like a natural.
But on Instagram, she
I
said
roll.
that she does deserve equal pay, but she does not deserve the same pay as Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle. Now, you being the person that you are, we're gonna try because we're on 40 minutes right now.
Okay.
But,
You said me, like me as a person?
no, but yes, you.
Okay.
You the theater major. I'm just
Yes.
I'm just
Come see
everything.
my shows.
But my primary source isn't, creative stuff. It's
Yeah.
education.
I understand.
How do
But
you
you
feel
creative
about
or
that
whatever.
statement? You know what I'm saying? It's on Instagram. I'll probably put a link. I gotta put a link for all this stuff anyway. But
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
yeah. So
Research.
how do you feel about it? Being a female and just being in the arts with
So-
her statement.
First, yes, females do deserve equal pay.
Real that.
Everybody should have equal pay. You know what I mean? If we're doing the same job If we're doing the same job, we should have equal pay. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, there are things that go into that, like, you know, is somebody working on extra it's all things. You can go into detail on that. But overall, nobody should get paid differently because of their gender.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Okay, feel that. Makes sense.
So yeah, I feel that. You know what I mean? Especially if you're doing a good job at your job.
Oh yeah,
That's another thing too.
Makes sense.
Quality or whatever.
That's that real.
You know, and I also agree. Yeah, I don't think that she shouldn't be making the same as like Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle. And here is why. Okay. I have a 2 point to that. I have a 2 point to that because I understand why she might say it, because she feels like, which I didn't think of until this exact moment. I'll say first why I don't think. Okay. I don't think because I don't think she has put in. I know she hasn't put in the same work as they have put in. That's two different levels. You can't compare yourself, which I understand why she would say I don't deserve. You can't compare yourself to somebody that's put in years of work, that when you were still running around town showing it to the people as a teenager. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what you know. I'm totally kidding. I'm totally wilding. I wilding. Hashtag wilding. But you know, like somebody that has not put in the same amount of work as these men have put in, and these black men have put in, you know, I think even if she was a black woman saying that at the position she's in, I would still say, yeah, she don't deserve the same because she hasn't put
career path.
Yeah, even if it was a black male saying that about them, if you haven't put in the same work, I don't think. No, you don't deserve the same pay. There's something that comes with, you know, time put in.
Yeah,
I believe that.
To big stages, to arenas, and to
movies.
And
you know,
you stood the test of time.
Now I could see if she were to say that, even though I hope baby girl would never say that, and she didn't. But you know, I could see that. Nowadays, people, when they feel like they have star power, because star power is something that's real too. If they feel like on the business side of it, if they feel like, well, I'm bringing in this business, and you know, because there's a difference between an actor and a movie star.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a difference.
Yeah.
You know, an actor, and some people are both. Very rare. But some people are both.
Denzel.
But the difference is an actor is about the craft, and they can bring this character and they draw you. Daniel Day-Lewis, baby, what do you mean? This man, what do you mean? No Country for What? What do you mean? And I'm hype on that movie, and low key I ain't never finished it. But it's, you know, some people are legit actors and movie stars. I'll say Daniel Day-Lewis is one of those people that are both. Now, people who are movie stars, they bring people to the box office. Yeah. They going to see them no matter what they in.
So like Kevin Hart.
They going to see them no matter what. I'm talking The Rock now. He has movie star power.
Oh yeah.
Jennifer Lewis,
Leonardo
DiCaprio. He's one of those that for years he didn't have that star power. Like he's in anything and people like, I'm going to see that.
So
Denzel got star. Denzel, what do you mean? You know,
and I'm not saying Denzel. I put him on the list.
You did.
I put him on the list.
Hashtag he said it first.
Hey, what's his name? Sidney
Poitier. But
I am talking in my eloquent voice to speak.
Low key, he took that from Dr. Thomas. No, let me stop.
Or just what's his name? Or heck, even Morgan Freeman. Just
you know, but
I see him play God another time.
I'm so done. But like, he's like,
now I need to tell you
with that voice. Oh my gosh, Morgan Freeman is like.
Hey, my roommate had it down packed for a minute.
The voice.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Try. No. I know it's like as soon as it comes out, it's like no.
I can't do it.
Oh my gosh, I can't do.
All right, okay, all right. Now we gonna go out here and
who was that?
Denzel.
Oh,
it's a trash Denzel. It's a trash Denzel. Okay. All right, okay. You will not kill my son today. I will bury my son. My son will not bury me.
Yes, but see the passion with it though.
Yeah,
I feels you. You know what I mean? Voice was a little off.
Yeah,
but I
know.
Feel some passion.
And I flipped the quote by accident, but it's cool.
It's okay.
So you're saying at the end of the day that Amy
but I can
Schumer,
understand some people if they feel like, you know, go ahead.
But she hasn't really done that.
She hasn't. I'm just playing like devil's advocate in this moment.
It's almost like one of them riddles that you get back in the day it don't make no sense, but when you actually listen to it, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and people will want to jump on it and say, you know, because she's a young white woman and they're older black men. And here's the thing, she didn't say anything bad about them at all, but people, hopefully
She's
they
saying
don't.
that she's not on their level yet.
Yeah,
That's
which is true. You know what I mean? It's true.
And she be joke stealing and everything, so it's kind of hard to do that.
She be joke stealing?
Yeah, they say that. I don't know where the evidence is. I'm gonna see the evidence. There's a lot of evidence out there, but you can put anything on the internet nowadays, so it's like it's kind of hard. But
I mean, shoot, some comedians, you know, Seinfeld said, I'm hashtag Seinfeld. Seinfeld talks about how, now in his stand-up, I know that's his own stuff, right?
Yeah.
But in the show Seinfeld, they said that they figured out, they brought on Larry David, who was Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I feel
Larry
him.
David, the little white hair on the side,
you know
and the little, you know,
I can't even see the final.
He's freaking awesome. I think he's so funny and semi-hot. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay,
I'm attracted to the crowd. I'm attracted to the crowd. No, y'all. Boy, I shouldn't even said that. I should not have said that.
I'm not no judge.
But, you know, when they started doing Seinfeld, they said they were at a party and Larry had written down a joke for his friend at like a birthday party because they were all friends. Yeah. And then they were like, Jerry, you read his joke. And he said in that moment they realized that Larry's jokes, Jerry could make Larry's jokes even funnier when he read them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then he started writing for Seinfeld. Yeah. I think he was already writing for Seinfeld, but you know, he got a little temper to him. So you know,
But that's what they do a lot of times now. They have people that write for the actual.
But
specials.
that's different because it's comedy shows versus like stand up. Now, if she got somebody writing her stand up, I don't know the rules of like the comedy world, but I would think like that's like writing a freestyle for somebody. Yeah. Hashtag. Ooh, you thought I was gonna say somebody's name? Ooh, not doing it.
Drake.
Really? I need a wonder, but I see in my end.
But
don't ever do my baby like that. Hashtag Jimmy for life.
See, you and my other person.
Hashtag Jimmy with glasses and a little fro for life.
Man.
Jimmy, when he got shot, he was in that wheelchair. Oh Lord.
Look,
I love Degrassi.
I already have her name is Terrence. She was on this episode. She was on like 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And she don't like.
She like Drake.
She like Drake.
Yeah.
I never said I hated Drake.
Yes.
It's just after the Meek Mill situation and then like the last 2 albums, I haven't been like a fan.
Why, you a fan of Meek Mill? You felt the way? You felt that way?
I'm not gonna say I don't dislike either. But at the same time, when you get fired up for having like people write for you and rap, it's kind of a problem.
Okay, let's get on this real quick.
Okay.
Do you feel like that hey, not that song in particular, but the back-to-back that he was throwing at Meek Mill, do you feel like somebody else wrote that, which is why he was able to produce it so quickly?
Probably so. It could be. But or he could have had it written from months ago and he was just about to say, waiting. Like it's almost like the person that you don't like in high school and then you just happen to be like, I could sneak him one day and you just see him have their back turn.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
Bruh. Here's the thing, and I'm gonna tell it, and I don't think a lot of people know this. Here's the thing: everybody be out there like, "Oh, I'm a Degrassi fan. I used to watch Degrassi. I knew Drake from Degrassi." No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Okay. Sorry. Rant hashtag no, you didn't. Rant. I'm about to rant. Degrassi used to come on the end, right? It was like 346, 347 on the cable, right? We had free cable. My mom used to work for the cable company. Don't play me now. We had all the channels. Thanks. But what I'm saying is, on the end, what they used to do, look, I'm going to make my point, and it's going to be very pertinent because it ties right into what you said about him having stuff already written. Now, what they would do is, you know, every week they would do like they had all these shows on the end. They have all these shows. They had Instant Star. They had Degrassi. They had this other show. I like Instant Star too. Hashtag Alex Johnson. Shout out to her. But every week they would do like a behind the scenes on different actors from those shows. So for like
Noggin and Teen Nick and all that stuff.
Exactly. And
Makes
so
sense.
they would do the little like background, like, oh, get to know Aubrey Graham, get to know, you know, all Alex Johnson.
Yeah, I remember
that. And so they followed him home, and it was like they would run those things. It would be like a month of them running the same stuff all the time, the same like background, whatever. What are you about to say?
No, you got it. Keep on going.
So like
I don't interrupt rants.
Okay. This is not me. I don't want to rant. This is like a positive rant. But so I distinctly remember them following him, and he went in his house, and they were like, he was basically showing everything. He was like, yeah, so this is my car. This is the first car I bought with my money from the show. It was an Audi. And I remember because I was like, oh my gosh, I want an Audi now. And it was so awesome. It was black, and it was suntan leather on the inside, and it was nice. He was a teenager.
Yeah.
Nice little Audi. He went in the house, and I remember him talking about it because he had just started doing his little rap thing, like on the show. He did a song with the girl who played Hazel on Degrassi.
See, I don't watch Degrassi like that. So
They did a
I got
song,
you.
and so they used to play the video on the commercials, just like they would do the little background thing. So anyways, long story short, he took them in the house, and he was telling me, yeah, you know, I really like music. I'm getting into music, blah, blah, blah. He had a file cabinet. He had a file cabinet in his house. I kid you not, y'all. Look it up. He had a file cabinet in his house, and he opened up the drawers, and he was like, yeah, so these are just like raps I've been writing. It was like full of like notebooks. I
believe it.
remember that.
But it's just like,
I remember that. And I said all that to say, low key, that freestyle might have been from when he was on Degrassi, feeling away, feeling hood in Canada.
But to be in the context of who he was talking about at the time.
Meek Mill.
Yeah. Because then you brought Nicki into it, and you had Meek Mill and all that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
that's nice.
It was just like whenever he tried to try Joe Budden dropped 2 songs on him.
Joe Budden,
Hold up, don't mess with
no.
Pump It Up. Don't mess with Pump It
I was
Up.
about to say, who is he? Not saying who is he. I know who he is, but Joe. Somebody said this before, and I think it's true. I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he's emotional, and
Yeah.
But here's the thing: all men are emotional. You don't have to attest to this. All men are emotional, almost to the point where maybe a little more emotional than women, only because they feel like they need to hold it in so much. So when it finally comes out, it's like,
Hot takes.
what? What's that?
Hot takes.
What does that mean? I'm so confused.
You got it. Continue.
What I'm saying is Joe Budden, I feel like, you know,
He's a very emotional
He's
guy.
a very emotional guy, but it's very like outward emotional. I don't think he's more emotional than
Well,
anybody else.
Eh.
Oh, it went
Yeah.
off?
Hold up, I'll be right back.
Well, you know, I don't think he's more emotional than anybody else. I think he's normally emotional. It's just outward. And he okay with being like, I'm not okay with this. I think he's okay with being like, I'm not okay with this. And that's okay. So do you like Joe Budden? Do you like his music? Joe Budden? What song did you think I was about to get on and you told me not to?
No, because most people know him from like Pump It Up, but I like My Life and just like the Slaughterhouse Cyphers that he was on, and just a lot of stuff that he puts out. And then I like the diss tracks he had for Drake, because he was.
You felt like he got
Drake.
Drake.
He didn't sit on him, and people don't are different about like rap beef, because rap beef has always been subjective. It depends on the person.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's almost like with Remy Ma versus Nicki, and
What you think
him,
about?
Joe Budden versus Drake. Joe Budden dropped those because he knew, he heard through the grapevine that Drake was about to drop. No, was it No Shopping, or something like that, where he had the sign. He was like, "Pump it up."
Mm-hmm.
So
So
like,
he heard through the grapevine he was dropping it. He wanted
because it takes
to,
a minute for songs to get dropped.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I was like,
People know about it.
yeah. So he looked crazy, but then once they finally figured out what got dropped, he beat him to the punch.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with Meek Mills, I think. Because you don't beat nobody to the punch with 2 songs back to back that quick.
Got
what I'm
you.
saying?
I get what you're saying. You felt like he knew someone was about to pop off,
Yeah.
and so he just jumped at it.
Because you can always change a verse or two to fit somebody. And you know what I'm saying? It may not have been.
That's true.
You know?
Meaning he already had them written,
Yeah.
changed a little bit, and threw it at him.
Yeah. It could be that
Which
way.
technically would be cheating. Right?
But it's just like, it's almost like with freestyles. You could hear a freestyle like on, like, Double XL, because it was like 10th year.
Mm-hmm.
Mine did a verse, but he had it on his album. But you didn't hear the album before the freestyle.
So you didn't know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Bro, I saw videos of Remy Ma doing this same freestyle. I'm whispering. I don't know why.
But
I saw videos of Remy Ma doing like the same freestyle over and over and over.
yeah. Because like it's okay when you're freestyle and you jump off and you use something to start off with like a verse. That makes sense. But when you use it in like a diss track to go after somebody and you've already used it and you were using recycled material, that's why I think people have a problem with it. And I think I have a problem with that too, because basically, you know what I'm saying? There wasn't no real effort put into you trying to come after this person.
Yeah.
But yeah. But speaking of creative stuff, yeah. Because I know we got.
What time are we at now? Yeah, I was about to say.
We got to wrap it up, but we don't have to wrap it up yet. We got about 5 minutes.
Or it's up to you. I mean, I'm not saying we can wrap it up.
But yeah, like we're both now I'm an education major.
Okay.
You know, Prairie View. But at the same time, I like my creative means of and avenues. You know, multimedia.
Yeah.
You know,
it's awesome.
Photography.
Hen dog designs or whatever.
You know what I'm saying?
Hashtag.
You know, like cat dog, hen dog. You know what I'm saying? Media, design, media and design. But you know, I do that stuff, and you know, you.
I just love the shout out to Cat Dog. Like that just like made me like.
It makes sense. Cause like think about it.
It was just like joy. It was so quick, and I was like, what?
Like cat dog, hen dog. Because people call me hen, and they used to call me hen dog, and that's where the nickname came from.
You remember the Cat Dog theme song?
Cat dog, ooh, cat dog.
I knew you knew it. I knew you knew it.
Yeah, I remember that bad boy.
Man, I used to love Cat Dog.
Man, my mom, she wasn't that that much of a fan of that or SpongeBob.
She didn't? Or SpongeBob?
Nah.
I mean, all of this stuff has so many like subliminal stuff in it.
Rocco, not Rocco. Rocco, yeah, Rocco's kind of bad.
What's the one with the little? Is that the little dog in the middle of nowhere? What's that one?
Dang, no, that's not the one. But I know Rocco's Modern World. He's the Wallaby. And then
I remember that.
Ren and Stimpy.
Oh yeah,
was definitely had a whole bunch of subliminals. But again, going back to the topic at hand. You're in the creative field. How you know? What's your take on it nowadays, and how do you feel about being it? Because that's our topic to wrap it up.
Okay.
Because we'll probably have you on again if that's cool with you.
Oh my gosh, that would be so awesome.
But you know, just being in your position now, you know, you graduated 2012. 12, 13,
14.
14.
14.
Yeah,
I was on that 27-year plan.
Look,
or whatever.
Look. I understand completely. I'm in there longer than you are. Like,
hold on.
just
we did I don't even know what kind of bump that was. It was that cuzzo. Boop boop. Boom boom. Just the backhand, the black side, because it matters the most.
But that's the thing about it. Like, just going. They always talk about starving artists, and they always talk about, you know, there's sometimes there's not. No.
I'm sorry. She like Matilda. She was just standing there like creepy.
Who's that person over there?
Go ahead.
But you know, they always talk about like there's you can't make it doing like creative stuff nowadays. But now I think there's more avenues. How do you feel about being in the because I know you're still working. And you have like a regular job and all that kind of stuff.
Burly. No, I'm just kidding.
but at the same time, you're still pursuing that passion as far as the creative means in the acting field, and just being an actor. And I mean, I say actress because if I say actress, she's gonna fire me up.
I don't get offended. I know some people do. I know some people get offended like that, but I don't.
But how do you feel about just being, in the theater? Acting and just
acting craft wells
and just being in that creative lane. How do you feel about it? Estee Lauder.
I mean, I love it. I wouldn't. It definitely for anybody that it takes the love of it. Because it's not about the money. It's not about, it can't be. If it was about money, it'd be, you know what I mean? But, I love it. And I do think there are a lot of avenues to, especially social media. I feel like social media is definitely, as far as film and people breaking into that and people breaking in like comedy films and stuff like that, social media definitely is an avenue that a lot of people take now. As far as theater, it's just, how do I feel about it? I don't know. I love it. It's hard at times, you know, because it is not about the money, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like
It's more about the craft and just getting better at it, basically.
Yeah.
Because before you can get into like bigger movies and bigger productions, you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, you definitely have to work on your craft. You definitely have to always be out there auditioning and trying to find opportunities, even if it's just to, you know, I was gonna say apprentice, like internship or anything, just auditioning and going for it and always working on your craft and working on yourself. Because, you know, somebody told me before and I was like, whatever. It was back when I was really just like, whatever, like for real. But they were like, you can't truly be full in your craft and grow in your craft if you're not truthful with yourself. It's so vulnerable. It takes a lot of vulnerability to act and to be in characters, because, you know, some people, it's hard for them to play certain characters, not because they can't do it, but because that character reminds them of something that is inside themselves that they don't want to face.
Because don't they say that most things, like, you know, with most characters, you gotta, yeah, like you're saying, you gotta come from a place that's relative to you.
It has to come from a true place, and you have to truly know who you are and be aware of who you are, good and bad, and accept it in order to truly portray someone else's story, you know, because it's not about you.
Yeah.
And if you
you're
haven't,
just the mold.
yeah,
You're not the mold. You're the clay.
Yes, clay. But it's like if people don't truly embrace who they are, it's hard to mold into somebody else, because it's a part that you don't want to be shifted into anything else. It's in a box, and that box is gonna be that shape, and you don't wanna switch it in, you know. And I had that issue before, myself, you know, just not wanting to admit things to myself. So it was hard for me to portray certain characteristics, certain traits, and to truly even get out of myself in order to see it from someone else's perspective, or see it from this character's eyes. And that's, you know, it's hard in that sense. That's craft sense.
Yeah.
But as far as theater in Houston is awesome. As you can always find a show to audition for, and, you know, hopefully be in or take classes, but
it's still a slow grind regardless. It's a slow grind regardless.
It is. And in Houston too, because Houston is not like a LA.
Yeah.
It's not like a it's not New York or Chicago. It's growing. It definitely has an awesome theater community. Yeah. And that's okay. We're gonna keep on
talking.
Yeah, we're gonna keep on talking. But it definitely has a great theater community. And I mean, still diversity is a big issue as well. Just like in everything else you see, diversity is definitely a big issue. And it's, you know, it's not about doing black shows. It's about being able to see black people as people.
Yeah. so
see them as anything.
So do you feel it an obligation to not only yourself, but also, you know, almost like with anything as far as being a black person, or just, you know, like paying it forward to the people behind you? Do you feel an obligation to stick it out to see where it goes, takes you? Far as acting is concerned?
I was gonna say for myself. No, not saying for meaning like the reason I have to keep pushing. It's not just, of course, in the big sense, it's for my family and it's for everybody I care about. But
I'm saying, like, you know, I know you as a certain person, all that kind of stuff. But then when you walk into like a new company or a new ensemble or a new play or something like that, and you walk in and next thing you know, like, do you feel it's hard for you to like fight the stereotypical views that most black people have to, or almost be like a beacon through your craft?
Got you.
If that makes sense. I hope it makes sense.
It does. No, it does. And I think the way I feel, I think my obligation for that is to not be what I think somebody wants me to be, but always be true to myself.
Okay.
You know, I always have to be true to exactly who I am, exactly who I'm. Because sometimes you'll walk in a room and you know that they want to see a certain thing.
Yeah.
They
All right, I need you to give me the
they
angry
want to
black
see
woman.
a certain thing, you know, and whatever that thing is. Sometimes it might be something you agree with, it might be something you don't agree with, but it's just staying true to who you are, and you know, not playing stereotypes.
Yeah.
And not just being who I am as an actor and as a vessel, if you will.
Got it.
So yeah, definitely. In fact, I used to do monologues, and he ain't. But no, I used to purposely, like, I would try to find monologues that were non-black monologues, and I don't suggest that. I suggest doing whatever that you feel. If there's anybody who's acting, you know, yeah, anything that you feel you can relate to. You can relate to. It don't matter if it's black. It don't matter if it's a quote unquote white character in a play. You know, as long as you can relate to it. Now, you know, if it's something and it's a period piece and they talking about slave, they talking about, now as a black, you know, you can't read that, and that just makes sense, just the text wise. But if it's just a character and you can relate to that character and it's within your age range, that's the biggest thing. It's like, hey, you're not supposed to be up there paying 60-year-olds, even though college and stuff like that happens. Or in educational settings, I should say. Yeah, and they have to do that because they don't have older people to play those roles. But when you end up auditioning in cities like Houston, you know, they have those people. So I would definitely say just staying true to who you are, you know?
Okay. My question is, and then we'll probably one or two more questions real quick.
Okay.
Because we'll probably bring you back. I always want to bring people back.
Yay.
But yeah, maybe for Thanksgiving or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Just get everybody together.
That would be awesome.
But yeah. So, how do you feel? What do you say to people that don't necessarily see the benefit of the arts?
Oh my gosh.
Because there's a lot of people that see that. Like they I know my mom, she's like, I don't get this. I don't understand it. And I can understand that, but there's people that are like, oh, why are you doing photography? There's too many photographers. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? They don't see the method to the madness, almost. And I know the same thing with you. They're like, well, why don't you just go get a full-time job? Or why don't you go get this? Why don't you get that? You know, have that security, but they don't necessarily see your passion. What do you say to them?
First of all, I'd be like, who? What? New phone, who this? Like, what? Why? No, but it's like, as far as theater goes, any kind of art, it's about telling a story, telling stories that
relate.
First of all, it's about educating people about things that they might not be familiar with. It's about showing people, it's about bringing everyone together, because somebody can go see a show and they see the inside look of a character that in everyday life they might not associate with.
Got it.
Makes you know sense. What I mean? But they're able to see this person and not just see them how they see when they walking by. I'm like, oh, that's a black person or that's a white person or whoever, but they're able to see them intricately. They're able to see who they are and what they go through, and in a sense it ends up humanizing them.
Yeah.
And it allows them to see them as, no, this is not just a black person. They're just like me. And they go through things just like me, and they feel things just like me, and they hide things just like me.
Yeah.
You know?
Makes sense.
And it's all about education. Look at her. It's all about, she's so cute. It's Matilda, right. Y'all. She's so cute.
She's cool.
But it's about, you know, it's about education, and it's about, I feel like that's so cheesy to say, like, education, but it's about just bringing people together, sharing stories that you may not ever see, and you may not ever think you can relate to, but show them in a way where you can receive it. So then when you walk out of a room, when you see somebody that may look like the person you saw on the stage, you're able to be like, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going through. They be going through what so-and-so went through. You know what I mean?
No, I thought somebody was in the alleyway.
I saw you look. But, and like even with art, like with, well, I'll switch that question to you with like photography. I feel like all art is about feeling. It's about bringing people together, and it's about connectivity and making us all connect in some kind of way.
Yeah. I think
That makes
when you
sense.
talk about connectivity and you talk about like the arts, most times now, when it comes to photography in general, it's gotten to a place where it's more about, it's not necessarily about what that artist, because a photographer is an artist just like any actor or a designer or somebody that does other work and has a different skill set. But when you talk about photography and you talk about like film and you talk about those avenues, I think nowadays it's more, people are more about the physical rather than the story, I think. If that makes sense. That makes sense?
Elaborate for me, please.
Okay.
For the audience.
I have a bad British accent.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Very. Okay.
Cheerio. Okay. But like when you look at photographers now, the reason why you look at photographers and you look at how it's getting saturated, most of the people that do that kind of stuff nowadays, it's more about, oh, I'm gonna get this girl over here and I'm gonna have her dressed this kind of way, and that's it. And they use the person rather than composing and finding the right location and then trying to get a certain emotion across with their work. If that makes sense.
So you're talking about. So you talking about.
That's wait, as far as, because you're saying as far as the connection and everything, right? You're talking about the connection as far as the arts.
No, I'm talking about how art connects, like, people.
Yeah. So like, if I'm out here and it's almost like if you're seeing this. Okay, how's the best way to explain this? It's like Instagram.
Okay.
Okay, you go on Instagram before they had like the algorithm, right? Before I had the algorithm, everything was in one sequential order, right?
Yes.
So whatever
which
time
I
you put
love.
in,
Please bring it back, Instagram.
like I think you could change it, but I doubt you can. But now it's an algorithm, right? It's almost like the popular page.
I don't like it.
But before that, it got to a point where you can scroll through and see everything within the same hour.
Yeah.
And you're able to choose and like what you feel, like you said, like an actor. You feel what you relate to the most, whether it be a video or an image. And that's what I mean by when you talk about photography, because when you're talking about just the avenue of photography, it's oversaturated because you get the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again, because not because people have a demand. Well, there's some demand for it.
Sex sells.
Yeah, that makes
Forever.
sense. Always. Sex sells a monkey.
While Maryland's still up on walls everywhere.
Or has a machine gun or something like that. But when you actually like look through Instagram and you're actually there to like see different things, you know what I'm saying? You get a unique perspective that you don't necessarily get from day to day. That's what makes people stand out. That's what makes better photographers, better filmmakers, all that kind of stuff. And that's what I say, why I said that from the aspect of media. Because in media nowadays, you can go down the route of making something that.
The thing.
Oh, I know.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, keep going. No, keep going.
I'm gonna put a filler in.
Okay.
But when you talk about like, I'm really
That's
trying
with
to
the media, is what you said.
Just media in general. the people that's like, because there's a saturation of a lot of people nowadays, you don't, it takes a whole lot more to find the gems that most people like myself or you want to find a lot longer to find.
I get what you're in
it's almost
in
like
acting. It would be like the actor versus the movie star.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
makes sense.
One is about the craft and the storytelling,
Yeah.
and the other brings people to the theaters solely based off aesthetics.
Yeah,
Solely based off aesthetics.
because I know there's like, it was almost like I see people go out to LA and it's no flack against them, right? And they're always on Instagram and this, that, and the other, and it's about this, like you said, it's about the aesthetic. So you're just getting the aesthetic, but then the aesthetic can only hold somebody for so long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because everybody ages and it beauty fades. It all fades, you know. But they trying to strike while the iron's hot, and the abs tight, baby.
But the way that they strike while the iron's hot is done by everybody. So when something else comes around the bend, unless you jump on the train or you stand out, you're out of luck almost, in a sense.
What do you mean?
But I'm saying you tend to be out of luck if you're like the person that's about the aesthetic rather than the storytelling, because then like,
got you. You're
if
saying
you're about,
eventually they lose out.
Yeah, and it's not like, it's nothing against them, because like everybody has their time in the sun, but when you do it in a way that's relevant to you, like I did that short film, and yeah, it may have not been a lot of money that went into it, but the feeling, I could have easily, you know, been in a situation where, oh, I'm gonna just over sexualize this, or I'm gonna just
You
make
could have
this more
done
about
that,
the
made
aesthetic.
that, yeah.
But I know for a fact that people are not gonna watch it because they see that on a day-to-day basis. And once you see it, you're just numb to it. But when you see something that's different or that takes a different perspective, then you're willing to sit down and actually watch what's going on.
Yeah. I slightly disagree, because I feel like sex still sells.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I'm not saying that that's
like
right.
it can get you in the door, but then what happens when you're inside?
Yeah.
And it's an empty house.
But most of the thing, and I agree. I completely agree. And that is when you get to that deeper level. But as far as like, somebody will watch 30 seconds of
gyration.
I was about to say, I was about to say a girl shaking her ass. You know, somebody will watch that, and I'm not saying that's right at all, but sometimes I feel like, I personally feel like sometimes, you know, yeah, in the long run that fades, but for right now, a lot of people, that's what they look for. You know what I mean?
But that's the thing about it. Every
every
generation goes through that thing.
Oh yeah.
Because like, you know what I'm saying? But I think over time, it's like, are you in it for the long game or are you in it for the short game?
Definitely.
So like with your acting, you're not going to just take any kind of role. You know what I'm saying? Hold on one second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no, you're fine. This is so much fun. Seriously. Did you miss me?
But like with your acting, right? There's certain roles that you just won't take. There's certain
I said
certain
retract
things that you won't do.
Yeah.
Because you know for a fact that you don't want to pigeonhole yourself. And it's the same with me when it comes to my photography and it comes to my films. Like
or if you see it going down that path, maybe you don't think it's gonna be that way.
Yeah.
But definitely you have to be aware, because you don't want to get caught, like you said, in a pigeonhole. Because that's
because like whenever I started doing this, like I was like, it's almost like I had self-awareness where I wanted to make some stuff that I was inspired by, that start off, but at the same time, I wanted to make stuff that, you know, people haven't seen on a day-to-day basis. But I know at the same time there has to be some form, something that hooks them in at the same time. I understand that too. Because I can't just give somebody a monologue or give them a certain comedy or give them a certain genre without knowing the stipulations of what's going to get them to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like with these, I know people don't watch these completely, but at the same time, I know people watch the parts that they really want to hear, and that comes with the territory. Like, I know down the line, I'm going to break down the videos, and it'll be single segments, because then you can watch a single segment and
And see that you just hit on it.
Yeah.
It ties into how it's the attention span.
Yeah.
And it's because of
Yeah. And it's
the
nothing wrong.
attention
There's nothing
span
wrong
thing.
with this, because I like Instagram.
It's nothing
and
wrong with
everything.
it. It's nothing wrong with it. But it's sad that people don't have. Not many people will sit down and read a book. They always feel, and I've been guilty of that too, feeling like I need to move.
But then at the same time, it's almost like everybody has that one book that they've read in their
I
life.
love how you like. Hold on now.
Everybody had that one book that they read in their life that like they read it the same day, and they started one day and they finished the same day. But because it caught their attention, it
Yeah.
caught their
And it pulled them in.
Yeah.
It was something that they related to, and it might not even be something necessarily on the surface. Like somebody would be like, "Oh yeah, of course you relate to that," but it's something that their inmost feelings, or it's something that they related to on a is it a visceral way?
On a
I think that's the word.
trying to find a synonym.
Taking my
right.
slide phone over in Google. No, I'm just
And they relate to it on a intellectual level.
on an intellectual level, on a what you want to say, if you go chakras, like a fourth chakra level, like a heart level, even on any of they related to it.
Yeah.
It aligned with them in some kind of way, to which they had to finish it. They had to keep going.
Yeah.
Pull the man.
But I think at the end of the day,
How do you know what that is?
how do you know what that is? Far as like what pulls them in, or like, I think, but it's almost with anything. It's almost, it changes with whatever platform it is. It changes with whatever medium it is. It changes with anything. So like you tell show a kid a Vine, that medium is not that hard to hold somebody's attention, because
It's so short.
It was 7 seconds, I think.
I have no idea.
It was 7 or 15. I
I thought it was 15.
No, I think Instagram went 15, but they did 7 seconds.
Okay, yeah.
And you can watch them back to back to back to back to back to
And
back
it's like
to
a
back.
quick funny thing. You're like,
Yeah.
rah, rah, rah.
But at the same time, it becomes a marathon when you watch certain videos, because the attention, like what catches your attention, changes very quickly. Whereas a short film, you look at it, if you don't catch them from the jump,
They check
then
out.
They check out. But if you catch them from the jump, then they're willing to sit in and actually take a chance and see what the payoff is.
Yeah.
And the same with like a feature film. It just builds up on the time. But if you show somebody something that keeps them, interested throughout the film, then they'll watch. And it's the same with like, you look at Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. You look at the theater, or you look at film,
I think it's interesting how you said that you wanted to do things that, that you were inspired by.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the first step. When the artist is inspired, they bring all that to a project, and it shines through. And then, other people, they might not be able to pinpoint what that is, but they can feel.
You get it.
They can feel that, and it starts with the artist, like you said.
Yeah.
You find something that you're inspired by, and you put it in this project, and from the acting to the cinematography, the way something is shot, the eye, everything. The audience sees that and they feel it, but it starts with the artist.
Yeah,
like you said, you find something you inspired by, somebody else is gonna feel that. You know what I mean? And it can be 5, it can be 15, it can be 50. But it starts with that inspiration on the artist level, and that's why you can tell how, even with like musical artists, when they start to lose their inspiration, when it happens.
It sounds like Lil Wayne.
You know when it happens. It'll be like, You know what I mean? For whatever reason, whatever reason it happens. When it happens, it affects their art, and thus it affects the audience in which they were tuned into, or not tuned into, the audience in which they had as an artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It affects all of that.
I think when you had that flame, and it's not just about I'm gonna make a payday, and you let it shine and you let it burn and you keep it, stoked at all times, then people feel that. Like with The Rock, people watch The Rock because, you know what I'm saying, he's highest paid
He's
for
so
a reason.
funny.
You know what I'm saying? It may just be action films, but at the same time,
Not like funny in real life, funny and
it's crazy that he went from the WWE to where he is now.
that's why I think that's funny. Like, what? But he does he doesn't thizzle. He does.
He work hard though. I give him that.
And
Now he might not be in the formal ranks of like, he not gonna probably be in no deep.
he puts his what a friend of mine called the top tier. He called it top tier actors. That's what he would call it. So a friend of mine calls that top tier actors. But The Rock might not be in a top tier level, but he definitely, he puts in work.
He all over the place.
Yeah. And like I think it's great what you said. You said crap. I just had it and I had a thought tied to it. What did you say right before The Rock?
The Rock? Oh, the flame.
The flame. When we were talking earlier and we were talking about theater and you asked me about theater and I said, it ties into that. If you don't got the passion for it, it'll show.
It. Yeah.
Because at the beginning, it ain't no money.
Yeah.
We're not doing this for money. We're doing this because we have a passion for it, and then you have to figure out what is the reason for it. Is it that I just want to be seen? Is it that I want to unite people and tell stories that have never been seen and connect people and touch them on an intimate level? Is it because I want to spread the gospel and give God glory in everything? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What is the driving force? And most of the time that's what'll either keep somebody in something or allow them to fizzle and fade out. Because if it ain't really a genuine drive, and most of the time, it's the Lord. But I'm playing, but I'm for real. But if it's
make up your mind, just
if it's not a driving force, that's something that's grounded. If it's not truly grounded in something, if it's not grounded in it, and there truly is no flame, and no passion, and no purpose,
then you just stuck out.
It'll fizzle away.
Yeah.
Eventually, it happens.
And it's just like with this, like 5 years of doing this. This is the first year, about to go into the second year of doing Hen Dog Media Design.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all this equipment, if you look at it, all this stuff had to be bought. You know what I'm saying?
And you got to there.
Yeah. But at the same time, I know for a fact this is just the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause it takes way longer to get, to a point where, you can make a living off of this. And you can make on it, what I'm saying? Do things that most people thought would be improbable. It's just like, I might not have no sponsorship, I might not have ads, I might not have all this, but at the end of the day, I know that with the short films and with the podcast and with the film and with the photos and just with everything I do it not because of other people and the money, because I would have been gone a long time ago.
Say it again for the ones who didn't get it. What you mean?
I would be gone a long time ago.
Right?
Because if you're just about the money, and I think that just goes back to like your personal, ethics and like your personal beliefs. Mm-hmm. Because if you're chasing that dollar, then you're just chasing the dollar the whole time. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna be happy about it.
And that's the same people who, I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's the same people you said who trying to strike while the iron hot. They using aesthetics. They using all of this quick satisfying things to get what they want to get. There ain't no real passion behind that.
Because think about it, like, I really thought about it. I was like, what would happen if the same thing that happened to Twitter happened to Instagram? Happened to Vine happened to Instagram.
Oh, I don't know. Something else would take its place. That's the
something
only
else
way
would take
it would
its
happen.
place. But then think about it: if you've built up your rep and your reputation.
Oh, I get what you say on Instagram. Bruh.
instead of going to build your own brand and going
Bruh.
to build yourself on like several like platforms,
Bruh.
or going to
A lot of
trying
boys.
any kind of avenue there is out there. One second, I'll be right back.
Okay.
but
That's good. No, that's
you know,
good.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it's like a lot of boys be smooth stuck out, having to start if they like you said, if they don't have brand, what people like to say. I be quoting.
Because now
People like to say brand power.
Whatever. Is like, you know what I'm saying? I would like to have sponsorship. You know what I'm saying? Holler at me, Road or Blue. Or
Hey.
what's up with it? You know what I'm saying? Like maybe, I would like to have some equipment and, do that kind of stuff. Or possibly do an ad sponsored, podcast or video, or have ads on here. But at the same time,
We can make our own ad.
I might do that for real. Like real talk.
Like a spoof. That would be awesome, actually.
But I know for a fact, like, I don't want to just limit myself to one avenue. Because if I did that with photography, then I wouldn't be good at, getting better at video.
I was going to say, you haven't done that now. Like, you've already expanded into different things.
And it's just like the same with you. You probably do different kinds of work when it comes to acting. It may not be the money value that you might want right now. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you're actually expanding yourself so you can get better at your craft. And you're not just a one-trick pony. And nothing against nobody that's a one-trick pony. Because if you're making it, because set sells a monkey wrench, it's cool. Like, you do what you do. But I don't, like, it's almost like with what happened to the girl that was in the video for Blurred Lines. She was a movie star. She wasn't necessarily.
What chick?
The one.
The white girl?
Yeah, because remember there's 3 people in it.
Emily. It's not Emily.
It started with an
Blunt.
R or something like that.
It's Emily. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. The skinny chick.
She got tired of it after one point because she was in movies and she was in covers of magazines and everything, but you were known for one thing and one thing only. And that same thing with like people on Instagram a lot. You see them on Instagram, and it's nothing against them. Again, I'm not trying to hate on nobody because like everybody gets.
Now some people do brand they build their brand and they have brands now. Like Brittany Renner, Bundle Brittany. She was just in Houston the other night.
Yeah,
met her.
And I remember she was at
manager,
Jackson State playing soccer, but she left for a certain reason. I can't remember what it was or something like that. And nothing against that, but but she did another avenue like the fitness and everything, and she has her own app and all that kind of stuff. But then like it goes back to aesthetic with her, but I'm not gonna hate on nobody because of that, because she has different avenues. So if Instagram dropped today, she still got other.
At least she got her stuff, yeah.
And I mean, I might not like it, her plan in its entirety. But I'm not gonna hate on nobody just because. It's just like I wouldn't like nobody coming up to me and saying, "Oh yeah, your videos are trash and this podcast is just not worth it." This, that, and the other, and da.
I'd be like, first of all, the only reason you know about it because you had to watch it. You had to watch it and don't know about it. So don't try to play me, boy. But anybody that got anything to say, they gotta tune in to figure out what they want to say. So you still here. You still here. Like you still here.
But we're gonna wrap this up because we've been an hour and a half for sure.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
It's because I'm a chatty Cathy.
But that's a good thing. Like, I think it makes up for last week, so they got a double episode out of this.
Hey, we breaking it down. It's gonna be half of his on his YouTube, half coming to my YouTube channel real quick. Come see me about me not come review me. Okay. It's like okay. But no, it's been so fun.
Well, it was fun.
Thank you for having me.
And I think it was a perfect exclamation point for episode 10, getting to the double digits finally.
Yes.
So,
that's exciting.
My question is, to paying it forward, what do you have to say to somebody that wants to get into the creative field, not necessarily just in the theater? So while we're wrapping this up, or it could be theater, or it can be or just what's your how would you pay it forward to somebody that wants to go this route?
I would say to learn your craft, whatever it is. Learn your craft. I'm still learning. Like, I'm not by any means. I hope I don't come off. And if you need to edit this and put this at the beginning, let them know. I hope I don't come off as like I'm a freaking expert or anything. But I would always encourage people to learn your craft, to hone your craft. Hone your craft as best as possible. Not best as possible. Hone your craft. Keep working on a daily basis. Don't turn down opportunities to gain experience and don't
quit your day job either.
to learn from others. Yeah, I mean, don't quit your day job at first. You still need to be making some kind of money, because you might need money to enroll in a class. You might need money to get headshots. You know what I mean? And before the bookings start rolling in for you. No, but it's less about the money. It's less about all that stuff, and it's just about passion. Find out what your passion is. If you have this gift, God blesses us each with gifts. You know what I mean? Yeah. It even said, it's saying the Bible talks about spiritual gifts. Each of us has spiritual gifts. Each of us has gifts that we've been given, that we have. Find out what your gift is, hone it, and then and find out what your purpose is within that.
Gotcha.
Because it can't be for personal glorification. It can't be for which is fame, and stuff, things like that. It can't be for money. It has to be for a purpose, Yeah. And just sticking with it no matter what people say, because some of the closest people, they might root for you for the longest, and it might come to a point where they not rooting for you. And just because they not rooting for you don't mean that you're making the wrong choice. You got to find out what's right for you.
Tell them.
I mean, just because, and it don't mean that they don't love you either. Yeah. Some things ain't for everybody. It ain't for everybody. You know what I mean? Perhaps. Let me stop.
Yeah.
but it's just you have to be grounded. And I'm only saying this. I'm not saying because I've overcome it. I'm saying it because I'm walking through it just like you. We all trying to get there.
Yeah. But again, like Will said, I think that's a good way to end.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yay.
Again, I'm glad I brought you on.
I'm glad I was here. It was awesome.
Everybody, shares their story. That's why we call it the Gold Bots. People don't understand it. Hopefully they understand it now.
Yeah.
And where can they catch you at?
They can catch me at.
I didn't do it with Alex last time. I'm sorry to Alex. I made sure to put her stuff on there.
Y'all.
And, she was a great guest to come on, and hopefully she'll come on next time.
Yes.
But plug yourself. This is
you
the one
catch
time.
Me at I'll get my Instagram. And my Snapchat. They're the exact same thing. The Estee Woo. So that's TH as in house, EEST as in Tom, EEWU. So
make sure to put it on
the Estee Woo. Yeah.
It'll be in the description, and it'll be on the iTunes.
Snapchat and Instagram. You're definitely gonna love my Snapchat. Instagram, it's about to get popping really soon or whatever. I'm gonna use my tripod and start taking pictures like real Instagram vixens. Okay,
and
I was gonna say victims, which is so bad.
And if you want to catch the podcast, it's on HenDogMediaDesign.com. It's in the description, and on the iTunes. You can catch me on HenDog Media Design for Instagram as well, and on Tumblr and all that jazz. And you'll possibly see Estee Lauder.
Yeah.
You'll probably see her
Lauderdale one time in Ohio.
And some upcoming short films, hopefully, maybe.
Yes.
That might work out that way. So we'll see how this goes, but I got to make sure, handle my business with school first. But
number one and two.
We gonna get it popping,
man. Yeah. Stay in school, y'all.
Hopefully, take these stories that we talk about and use them in your everyday life if possible. Wherever you are, morning, noon, or night. If you're watching this on YouTube or on the website or listen on iTunes, we're glad to have you on here. Take it one day at a time, and see y'all later.
Bye.